Are you ready for the secrets? Today I'm going to deliver a 100-pound bow and show you what I normally don't. Because I don't always practice what I teach. Like here, making pencil marks for the camera but never using them in the bow build. Intuition. I'm choosing bamboo today because, well, it's amazing. I tiller the bamboo by eye to make sure it bends evenly. I've also built bows where I didn't do this at all. Both of them have made good bows. Cutting out the profile to the exact shape of the stave makes glue up much easier. Bandsaw for roughing, sander for getting down to my lines. Polyester string are my clamps, glue is my glue, and a glue spreader is my glue spreader. I personally like to use too much glue so that it drips onto my vise and makes my vise harder to use next time. But seriously, this is the cheapest, easiest way to clamp a bow together. Just use a string. It takes some time to wrap it tight, and it does really well. I often have recommended to space the nodes evenly on the bamboo, which can make the tillering easier, but it's not necessary. In this bow build I don't, because I like to add a little reflex to the bow. I'm doing this by harnessing the glue up. Once the glue cures, the bow will somewhat stay in the shape I clamped it in. Dyslexia is one of my gifts, so using a tape measure or a ruler upside down is pretty common. If you see any of my misspelled words, please just overlook it. And if you can't, just pretend like it's a logo. Then you can call it art. We sell these hickory staves at Shatterproof Archery, and we added the bamboo as an optional option. Everyone who's ordered so far added the bamboo, so I figured I'd see how heavy of a bow I could make with this bamboo and hickory combo. Looks like the string did the trick, and the glue lines look great. Sanding and rounding over all the corners helps keep splinters from raising. So this is kind of a precautionary step that I do every time. I'm building a universal handle, so you can shoot left or right-handed, and I'll wrap it in leather. I'll show you how I do that later. Here's my dirty little secret about tip overlays. I use a Dremel tool, and I eyeball it. No measurements. I've done so many of these, this is the fastest and easiest way to knock one out super quickly. Then a rasp to clean up just a little bit. Sand it smooth. I'll use the Dremel to mark both sides and then connect the dots and repeat like I did on the other side. This is how to do a tip overlay in under 1 minute. And I'll finish with this automotive sandpaper. Beautiful. I mean, functional. In my mind, sanding down the back of the bamboo with like 220 or 300 grit sandpaper seems to keep the fibers down. I don't know if it actually does, it just makes me feel good though. Now to tillering. This part is generally the quickest part of the video and the longest part of real life. It's a lot of patience and repetitive actions. This bend is already 80 pounds of draw. At this point, I didn't know I was going to try to make a 100-pound bow, but it's kind of like eating a box of your favorite candy 80% of the way through. You ain't stopping there. We got to go up to 100, so that's what I did with my bow. Here's another thing I don't recommend that I do. I start to tiller with a belt sander until I get it to brace height. This is dangerous for the bow's survivability, but with Sharpie guidelines and adequate experience, I am extremely confident in this. Tillering goes like this. Check the bend, mark where you want to remove material, exercise the limbs, check the bend, mark where you want to remove material, exercise the limbs, check the bend, mark where you want to remove material, exercise the limbs, and repeat this maybe 20 or 30 times. You could eyeball it, you could use math, there's lots of methods. This is where most people start cautiously and then get more aggressive, where you should actually do it in reverse. You could start more aggressively and then get more cautious as time progresses, because removing the same amount of material early on and later on will affect the bow completely differently, because it's a different percentage of total mass still on the bow. In other words, if you're going to be aggressive, do it early. If you're going to be cautious, do it later. I haven't really said this, but I like tillering sticks better than tillering trees. You know, I built a nice tillering tree and then I got this janky tillering stick. But it's so nice when you're using a tillering gizmo because it holds it in place very easily and very well. Plus, I like being up close and working with the material, feeling it. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's just nostalgia because that's how I started, but I like a tillering stick in every case except for exercising the bow limbs and testing poundage. So today, I'm going to use both. If you perceive tillering like putting together a puzzle, I think you'll enjoy it more. Be patient, go piece by piece, scrape by scrape, and it might take you a little bit more time, but the bow may last a lifetime rather than it blow up in your face. And that's worth it to me. Not ready yet. Yeah?
What? You said after you walk? What do you over here?
I'm making this bow. Here, I'll show you how we remove wood. You go like this. Look at that.
Oh, I want to try.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Here you go.
What is it called? What's it called?
That's called a cabinet scraper.
A scraper?
Scraper, yeah. You want me to help you?
Yeah.
Okay, you go like this, and you push it. Look, you get wood. Oh, good. You try it by yourself?
Yeah.
Good job. That's how you do it.
Dada.
How's it looking?
What's that?
These are the wood shavings that come off the bow.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll generally scrape pretty slow so the camera can see it, but if I just need to remove material, it goes more like this. Weird, but effective. It also depends on the goal. Sometimes I'm trying to finish a bow quickly, other times I'm there to enjoy every single scrape. So this isn't completely standard. I like to round the corners after scraping with some sandpaper, and then we can go back to the tillering tree. At about 23. We're a little short still. Hitting 80 at 22. Tailoring with the bowstring on is nice, so you don't have to remove it and put it back on, but getting in this corner is the difficult part. So if you can learn to turn your scraper at a specific angle, you can get all the way down. Just make sure not to nick the bowstring. Yeah, I exercise the limbs 30 times between every single scrape session, and so this is what it looks like. That's 80 right there. Yes, it's true. I like to use quick dry poly from a spray can. It's fast, it's easy, with a pretty decent finish. I also don't always wear a mask. I recommend doing so. Chances are I'm gonna die way early because of this. It's pretty cold out, so the heat box should give it a more regular temperature. Ooh, leather handle time. I've never really taught this, so this is my favorite method. Get some blue tape and a chunk of cardboard. You'll want to cut the cardboard just so it fits on the back of the bow. Then wrap the entire handle in the blue tape. We're making a template to see how big of a leather piece we need. Cut along the cardboard. This will keep your bow safe. Then unwind the tape. Nearly any leather will work great. I prefer something between 2 and 4 ounces, and something that's pliable, soft, will feel good in the hand. Put the tape template on the leather and cut out the exact shape. Then I'm gonna punch holes. I'm gonna eyeball it and kinda do it randomly. I'll use a scratch awl to keep my holes aligned. If all you need is leather for this specific project, leather stores will sell their scraps really cheap, or even give it away for free. Now you can thread the leather onto the bow. Since we punched holes, we don't even need a needle. I prefer to have the stitch line on the back of the bow. That way it doesn't interfere with the shot. I don't even know what a good pattern is. You can see how I did it here. The only thing I would do differently is align those first holes. You can see the leather doesn't match up. That was just a silly mistake. My favorite way to string a bow is the leg method with a long bow, but you just gotta add a little bit of force when it's a 100-pound bow. Oh yeah. I originally was going to make an 80-pound bow because I thought I could pull it back, but now the 100 is really pushing me. I don't have experience with heavy draw archery, so I'm sure my technique's bad as well, but I'll do my best. Oh. 7 targets set up. And we're just going to leave that one there. Ooh, that was pretty close. Oh, that wrist slapped me good. Oh, think I want to be that dumb. Wow. What do you want me to test? It's the following day, and my guess is that some people would like to see the feet per second on this thing. 3, 2, 1. Oh, my back popped. There's one issue with testing, two issues. There's 2 issues with testing that. The first one is I can only draw this probably to 24, maybe 26 inches on a good draw. The second issue with that is the weather's terrible outside and I need enough light for the chrono. Bad weather never stopped us from trying anything. Gonna get warm first. Wow, a 50. Feels so light now. It's crazy, some of those people who do like 150 or 200 pound bows. That's gotta take a lot of practice. And some muscles. I built a 100-pound bow with ipe and bamboo a couple years ago. And so far, the hickory one I definitely like better. The fog's cleared up a little bit. All right, let's see if I can even make it through that sucker. No reading. Come on. I only have so many poles in me. Gonna aim a little lower. Oh, 191. I could definitely get it back further than that. All right, Kramer, let loose. See if we can get it above 2 here. I continue to get the bow back and can't beat 191 feet per second. So when I increase my strength, I'll show you what this bow actually shoots. Until then, thanks for watching and stay shatterproof.